All right, hello everyone. I'm Raleigh, and welcome back to the channel. So, if you guys have watched I think these are going to come out on the same day, honestly, guys. But if you watched my earlier video, I wanted to do more Underspace stuff. So we have two videos that came out today. I did a channel update for you guys, for those of you that have been followers for a long time that kind of want to know what's going on. But also, I kind of wanted to make this separate because I understand that probably some of the people that are looking for Underspace stuff, they don't necessarily care about watching the channel stuff or whatever. If you do, you can always look at that video as well. But yeah, hello everyone. So for those of you that don't know, I have covered Freelancer for I've done a playthrough over on Twitch when I first streamed on Twitch. I'm probably going to do a playthrough of it on YouTube as well at some point, to kind of have that as a playthrough in, just not as a stream, but just like as a playthrough or whatever, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe just go through it again. But I made a review of Freelancer a couple years ago, and then I redid it like half a year later or something like that because I wasn't happy with it. And that video sees a lot of views, which is great. I really, really like that. I'm very excited about that. But I kind of talked about like the mods that I wanted to cover, which is the Crossfire mod and the Discovery mod. So that is still in the plans. I know it's been like 2 years later, and it's like, well, still in the plans. It's like, yeah, it's still there. It's still in the back of my head. It's still something that I want to do. It's still something that I want to show you guys, that I want to talk to you guys about and stuff like that. But yeah, the other thing though, talking about Freelancer, right, is Underspace. So Underspace is this new game that's being developed by Pasta Space Interactive. I want to say, I always feel like I get that name wrong. There's too many A's and too many S's in that name, and I'm really bad with like just remembering those little details and stuff. But I think that's what they're called. I can actually look on here real quick. I just want to get it right, Pasta Space Interactive. Yes, so I had that correct. But anyway, and that's a spiritual successor to Freelancer, or as far as I can tell, it's a spiritual successor. It plays very similar. It has the same ideas, but expanded upon. In many, many different ways, and there's really cool things added and stuff. And I've been covering Underspace for quite a while on my channel. I've looked at, like, I'm one of the testers, which, it's not a big deal, but I'm saying, like, I kind of get the demo that lets me do everything, and I've done that on stream before. And I've covered the monthly updates. They've now changed those devlog updates from being monthly to being weekly, which has just kind of screwed me over because it was always nice to just have a couple of months where they did updates, and then I would go in and just kind of look at both of them. Now, when I do wait a couple months, I have 8 different posts to go through. So it's like, it's very hard for me to keep up with it. But nonetheless, they have had some amazing, amazing news. Okay, so for those of you that are interested in Underspace, make sure that you pay attention to this. If you guys are interested in things like Star Citizen, if you're a Starfield player, if you like space simulators, if you're a fan of Freelancer, like any of these things, definitely check out Underspace. They're now and we're gonna go through. They have a new publisher, which means that they're on all the social medias. They're on TikTok and Twitter. They have a Discord server. They have a which they've had before. They have a YouTube page. They have like all these different things where you can follow them. You can watch all the stuff. They're probably gonna give you like updates on there as well. They have like some really quirky videos. They're trying to be, which everyone is trying to do nowadays, like on TikTok, like trying to make funny videos and stuff just to get some traction and stuff. But they're really, really good. They're really, really, like, I'm so excited for this game because if you are a fan of Freelancer, and I know a ton of you guys that have been watching my channel, that have been subscribing, watching my review, talking about, I love this game. Like, this is gonna be the game, guys. I'm so, so certain that this is gonna be the game that the people that love Freelancer, that want a spiritual successor, this is what you guys are looking for. So, enough of just me being on the screen. Let's just get into, I think it's this. Yeah. So you guys can see it. So this is the Steam community page that they have on Underspace. You can go on the pay on Steam. Go wishlist it on Steam too, guys. Like, go on Steam, wishlist it. You know, the more that there's exposure specifically on Steam, it's such a big platform, right? It's like the more there is out there, you know, and kind of check out their stuff. I mean, the thing is that's really cool about this as well is it's not just the game itself, but it's also that the devs are doing weekly updates. Like, we're gonna go through some of this, and you guys are going to see pictures and info on all these different things, and there's so much. Like, it's so cool because it's so transparent. It's not like you sit here and you wonder, well, I haven't heard from Pasta Space Interactive for a while. I don't know, you know, what's going on with Underspace. Like, they haven't posted anything. No, it's like a weekly thing, and they go into details, and it's really, really cool. Train Wiz, I think, is the username of the main guy that does it or whatever. And he posts like a lot of stuff. He posts pictures of his cats. Like, we'll see it in a minute. It's really cool. But yeah, so let's go in because we did get some big news on the 29th. Which I know it's been like, I'm a little late to this, but we did get some really, really cool news about Underspace, and I'm very, very excited for it. So I'm not going to read it word for word, but it says, attention. Thank you for your attention. So new release window. So this is the first big thing, right? So we're going to have a Steam early access in the second quarter of 2024, which is so exciting. I've been waiting to see when they're going to come out. I think the initial release date was for this year, which I kind of, sorry, I'm just looking at my cat. I kind of, I wasn't really like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a thing. Like, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I kind of wish they would take a little bit more time, because I feel like there's a lot more stuff that kind of needs to be fleshed out. But I also, at the same time, I feel like I don't really have grounds for that, because I haven't been keeping up with like the new demos and stuff like that. So I don't know what's really been, how much they have been updating on it. But I think that's going to be really good. Like, setting an early access, it's early access, which means there's still going to be development happening to it and stuff. And I think it's going to be like a live service game anyway, so there's going to be new things. But yeah, so next year, guys, next year we're going to be able to play it, and I'm so excited. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am. I'm super, super excited, because I really think this game is going to be super fun. And then the new publisher, Camlin Games. I think that's how you pronounce it. Camlin? I want to say Camlin, because it's two N's. It's not Camlan, it's Camlin. Camlin Games, which is great. So, this is Train was talking. He's always the one that, I think he's the one that posts all these things. And by the way, Star Chasers is what we're called in the game, right? Remember how in Freelancer you were Freelancer and it was just like Freelancer? Now we're going to be called Star Chasers, which is really cool. I love that. Remember how I said, well, this is going to be something where we're gonna go backwards in the post that they've had. So they're talking about this. He's talking about the past of the post that he had last time. But yeah, so we have a new publisher, which means they kind of picked up the whole marketing thing, right? So now we have a Twitter, now we have a TikTok, now we have a YouTube channel. They have that now, right? So now they have those things. Now they can get out there and do marketing and do all these things. And I think it's really picked up. Like, there's videos out there. People are really like seeing things now. I see posts on Twitter now, which is really cool. I really want this game to get exposure and go out there. So, yeah, so we have a new developer. Sorry, it's a little dark in here, because, usually the light comes from my screen, and my screen is really bright, but because we're on the start page, it's not reflecting too much light off of it. We have a new trailer, which is so exciting. For the reason that it's a new trailer and we see new things, but I'm also featured in it, okay? I just want you guys to know that I am featured on the Underspace gameplay trailer. We're gonna look at it, and it's really, I'm so excited. So let's watch it, guys. Let's watch it. Oh, hold on. You know what? I'm gonna make sure they do it on auto, but I want to have it on high quality. Let's rewatch that from. Yeah, it's better. Hey, so good, right? Yeah, so my quote is featured right there. This is that I think that was that the title of the video that I made? The original I made a like the first demo that came out, I made a review of Underspace, and I think that was the title of it, or I had it like on the thumbnail or something like that. But yeah, guys, look right there. And it is such a true spiritual successor because just even the first system, like, and they did that on purpose. I think the first system that you go into feels very much like the New York system from Freelancer. But it's really good. Like, if you guys like look at the trailer, just at the gameplay and stuff of it. One thing that they do really well. So the gameplay is pretty similar to how Freelancer was, right? You kind of fly around, the way that the movement works, the way that like the some of the UI layout and those certain things. But one thing that Freelancer never really, and I think I've said this before, this sounds very familiar now that I think about it, but one thing that Freelancer was not very good at, because it was back in 2003, right? It was made 2002, I'm guessing 2001, 2002, somewhere around that. The capability back then, they didn't have the capabilities of putting giant monsters or even giant ships in there, right? The largest ship that we see, um you know in Freelancer is like probably Takegi's like base or whatever, but it's not really a ship. Like, what's the large ship that we see here? I guess are all the like battleships and stuff, right? I mean, the Nomad City is not very large. The Dyson Sphere is just like a map, so it's not really like a structure or anything. So, they did try to make everything feel really big in Freelance, and they did a really good job. But like, you can have giant monsters in space, right? And they like, I love that so much. It has this like weird like Lovecraftian like vibe to it, with these like weird monsters that are like in space. We can kind of go through some of these pictures, right? Just the different environments and stuff. Like, Freelancer was really good with those environments, but they took it to the next level with Underspace. Like, these like lanterns, they're very like it's very like, it has these like different vibes to it, right? You have this like giant sword in space. You have this like, look at this giant monster skeleton and stuff. There's like stars, black holes. Like, there's so many new things that we haven't seen in Freelancer. And then of course the monsters are just like gigantic. It's like we have these snakes. We fought those. They were kind of bugging out on some stuff, but I'm sure all that stuff is gonna get fixed. These things, I don't know what that is. Like, look at that. That was so, and it's so cool with the like droplet effect. Giant ships. Like, look at that giant ship. Like, that's so cool, right? And then we get that at the end they have that one. They've shown this off quite often with the many eyes on it. I don't know if that's like a big boss or something. I mean, it's very like, how creepy is that, right? It's so cool because just the idea of being out in open space, I think is very creepy as well. It's the same as like being out in the like deep ocean, right? It's just like a lot of unknown, a lot of darkness. You don't know what's lurking where, right? And in this game, they're like, oh, there's stuff lurking there. And they have these storms that you got to do, these giant bosses you have to defeat. Like, this is a boss, I guess. It's like really, really cool. So I really enjoy this. So if you guys like this, make sure that you follow them. But we get actually pictures. So if you haven't downloaded the demo, there is a demo for the people that are not testers. You can go on the Discord, the Underspace Discord. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't talk there for a second. The Underspace Discord, and there is a new demo out. But they will only let you into the first system unless you're a tester. Like, testers, I guess, can go like anywhere or whatever. But even the first system, there's like things to do. There's like quests to do, ships to buy, upgrades to get, and apparently there's a new demo now. And like I said, I haven't really played it, so I'm not sure. But there is a lot of new stuff coming all the time, right? And it's like multiplayer is going to be on there, which is like a big thing for like those of you that played like Freelancer. But yeah, we get some pictures. We get this. That's pretty cool. Just some random stuff. I mean, just seeing the stuff in game. There's like a trade lane. They don't call it a trade lane. What do they call it? A lane line? So the trade lanes from Freelancer are not called lane line. They're the same kind of thing. You can go through, and there are these like ring things that you can fly one way or another. And oh, yeah, and I talked about how I really love like when you're looking out from like far away, you can see they're almost like highway lights going like back and forth. I thought that was it's such a great detail that like I didn't think Freelancer needed that, but like now that I see it in Underspace, I'm like, oh my god, that like adds so much depth to the game, you know? Because you see other ships flying by and stuff. Like that's so cool. Um, we we get some weird creatures that we can interact with, which is really really cool. I love seeing the like alien designs of these and stuff. And then they kind of post all of their nothing development wise, but just news, kind of like nothing great for development. um there are some stuff right here, so where they're like doing some star chasing chapters, title screen pop-ups, like those types of things. But yeah, so there's a lot, so you can, as you guys can see there, Underspace is now on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, Discord. Make sure that, and TrainWiz is the guy that makes it, and he's on Twitter, Tumblr, and YouTube. So make sure you check out their channels. Make sure you follow them. Make sure you like share their stuff. Tell them how amazing they are, because they are really amazing. It's really really exciting. How far they've come too. Like congratulations to Pasta Space Interactive, because making a game is tough. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of motivation, a lot of things that are very high in demand and like low on supply these days. So congrats to finally having like a date that they can say like, yeah, we're going into early access on Steam, which is just fantastic. But I do want to go, like I said, I haven't been looking at any of the dev logs for a while now, so I want to kind of go and just kind of read some of the stuff. So it's really funny. He takes like a picture of his cat through like a it's like a, not a toilet paper, but like a paper towel roll, whatever, and it looks like a out in space or something. Like the first time I saw that picture, I was just like, that looks like space, but it's not. It's just his kitty cat, one of his kitties. Um, he has many cats, as far as I can tell. There's pictures of cats later, but yeah. So new content and features in the new demo that we have. I think that is the same demo that they were just talking about earlier. I think they were just reiterating that they had a new demo right here in this post. So I think that's the same demo, but new effects for high engines, new arcane effects, mining beam, full cockpit textures, which was something that was kind of cool to have, like the cockpit view, but not having textures in there. Was like new graphics and effects on space stations, which is always nice. They've really improved on those a lot. Again, I haven't seen it. I'll be very excited to do a little stream with you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tomorrow or today, tomorrow, or some other time. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. Redone controller, character controller. Oh, redone the character controller, which allows momentum, crouching, and head bobbing options. Okay, ships and equipment can grant special abilities or skill points. Okay. Okay. New quick new quick equipment menu as part of the input refactor. Okay. Changes and bug fixes. Total refactor of all in-game inputs. Returning players are recommended. Yeah, so new input stuff. Docking is now done manually by default, and lane lines, jump gates, and jump holes do not require docking requests anymore. Simply fly through? Yo, that is, oh my god, that is such a great change. So like, you know how like for trade lanes and stuff, you had to like dock and then you would slowly fly into it, and now you can just fly through them? That is so good. Oh my god, I love that. That is a great change. Holy crap. New contextual based targeting UI. Selecting a target ship, solar, etc. brings up a simple list of interactions the player can perform, greatly reducing bloated inputs. Awesome, I like it. Inventory, nav map, reputation, quest log, and journey. All menus now have a quick action key. Okay, that's really good. Yeah, okay, I like that. Flight controls reworked slightly. High engines are now by default double tapping W. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think I like that. I think that's pretty good. I might have to get used to that, because I feel like maybe like double tapping accidentally, like um internal refactor of the game's skill system and readouts on items to show what affects what skills. That's really nice, because I kind of, that was definitely missing. Introduction to it now rewritten to accommodate for the changed controls. Nice. Camera controls are now a single universal key that toggles you between cockpit, backwards, and orbital views. Okay. Pause menu graphics redone to move away from certain inspirations. Oh, okay. I guess the pause. How did the pause menu used to look? Did it look like a? Did it look like? Did it have a too much freelancer look? I don't remember, but nonetheless, which whatever. I mean, it's a pause menu. Greatly reduced file sizes and loading times. That's always nice. Kind of just doing like, because that's one thing that I feel like, you know, when you have a big game like that, again, I talk about immersion all the time. It's like when I'm in a game and I have to wait 10 minutes for a map to load, it's going to drive me crazy because you're taking me out of that immersion, right? I'm in it, and a lot of people have a short attention span. I have a little bit of a longer attention span. Like I'm pretty patient when it comes to stuff like that. But I think there's a threshold, like an average threshold, where it's like if you reach that on your loading times, you're kind of like taking people out, and it's going to be annoying, right? Added indicators to show if a tradable commodity was currently affected by the dynamic economy in some way. Interesting. Fix issues where some stats were calculated. Fix issues where missions wouldn't complete correctly. I ran into that quite a few times um, or where the mission wouldn't start. Was it where the mission wouldn't start, or where it wouldn't end? Either way. Relating to NPC flights, some black screens and soft locks relating to loaded games, mesh errors on ships. Known issues: voice acting is currently unbalanced. Yeah, so there's a lot of voice acting. I don't, again, I don't know really how the development is going. But join the Discord and see if they need voice actors, for those of you that are voice actors in the community or something like that. I mean, I've always said that would love to voice a character, but the thing is, I have no training in voice acting whatsoever, like zero. I have no knowledge of how to do any of that stuff. So I'm not going to be like, pick me, but like, hey, you know what? If you're looking for someone to do voices, I'll voice a character or whatever. Joystick and controller support, vestigial and more or less not implemented, having plugged in can introduce weirdness. So, but they are planning on having joystick and controller support. Just so you guys know, they do want to have that. So for those of you that are huge on like playing those types of games with controllers, that is definitely something that they want to have. Trading in ships may have a UI mismatch between ammunition counts on a ship and the actual ammunition. Okay, interesting. So these are just known issues that he knows about. Please take a look at the demo and give feedback. Join the Discord. Yeah, so if you guys have any feedback, I think he's taking all of it on the Discord. People post constantly like new pictures of things they've noticed or whatever, right? And it's just kind of post your opinions, post your stuff on there. Of course, be civil about it, right? Don't go in there and be like, wow, this fucking sucks or whatever. Um, just some pictures. Look at this. So this is the new interior of one of the ships. Looks very good. I like it. This is a different ship even. Look at how different the cockpits look compared. Like that's very nice. What does this say? I've also added basics of party member recruitment and personal quests. Have scripted many new quests for party members and recruiting them. More progress on this will be made in the coming weeks. I thought you'd be taller, which is such a common line. I'm kind of sick and tired of it at this point. It's like Guild Wars just used it in Secrets of the Obscure, and it's always like, I thought they'd be taller. It's like, why doesn't someone say the other way around? Like, I thought they'd be shorter. Like, just kind of put a twist on it. Make something new, I don't know. Just not a criticism, it's just something that's like a personal, nitpick of mine. So did my parents. Okay. But yeah, so there you guys can kind of see some of the UI. It's like I said, it's very very similar to a Freelancer, and again, it's supposed to be inspired by Freelancer, but I think they're trying to like kind of decouple it, right? It's supposed to be like a spiritual successor, but they don't want to be. I think they don't want to be like, oh well, Freelancer though, right? Or like but in Freelancer or whatever, right? I think they're trying to stay away from that. I don't think they've ever officially said like Freelancer, right? Like in any of their statements, but it's clearly inspired by it, but in a good way. I think they're taking the best things of it and they're making their own game out of it, right? And it's its own game, guys. Remember that. It has nothing to do with any of the stuff that's going on. It's its own thing, which is really cool. So no entry. Um, Okay, so they kind of have like a little UI thing here, and you can just fly into it now, which is so cool. Yeah, and he's kind of showing that off. It kind of tells you where stuff goes. That's really cool. So that way you don't have to click on it. It tells you where it's going. So if someone says, "Hey, I want to meet you at Spollen Train Yard," you can be like, "Oh, this trade lane or lane line takes you right there." Um, Ongoing work, socials to follow, engagement helps offset the feeling of shouting into the void, the big void, not the cat void. The cat void gets love, no, not shouts. Yeah, so they're kind of asking like, hey, follow us on all of these different platforms so that we can, we can get some engagement. Like right now, we as the community, as the people that love these types of games, as we still have like a little bit of influence, right? We can influence this game by giving our feedback and saying like, hey, we would like to see this and this and this, right? In a year from now, when it's an early access, they're probably not going to be listening too much. They're going to be listening more to the bigger streamers and the bigger people out there. But even right now, even little people like me, we can put our little notes out there, our little like opinions out there, things like that, like our constructive criticisms out there, to kind of influence that a little bit, which is nice, right? It gives us the opportunity to do that. So we get a couple pictures of the cats, are really really cute. My cat is an all black cat, so that reminds me of that. But my cat looks a lot rougher than that. Okay, my cat's been through like she looks like she's been through like I need to post a picture at some point, but she looks like she's been through like 3 wars. Okay, she's like a veteran. Okay, that's what she looks like. Mimi used her one orange brain cell to enact a rare rear leg cuddle. Oh yeah, look at that. I didn't even notice that. That's really cute. Yeah, so we see this is like a planet, space station, something like that. We see a little bit of that. Some missing file tile sets were implemented as well. So we see some more of the tile sets here. I can't enlarge the picture. I don't know why. Only some of them, I guess. We see more pictures of this. I don't know why there's that line through. I don't know. Another pretty task has been adding elements to spaceship cockpits. Before comes to visual radar. Visual radar. Oh, is that supposed to be a radar? Oh, that's really cool. If we had like an active radar in there, that's really cool. So we see a little bit more. This is like I think before he finished up some of the cockpits. I think they're more done now. Like I said, we're going backwards in time, guys. So this is like older the farther we go. Another cat picture. Really cute. The cat looks like terrified. I don't know why. Look at the eyes. Um, just more pictures. I'm trying to show you guys more pictures of stuff. So the space stations are really coming along, which is super nice. Look at this. It's like very Star Warsy, isn't it? With the window and stuff. It's like that's like Emperor Palpatine right there. But it's really cool. Like it's and it takes influences from that as well. It takes influence, like some of the designs take influence from things like Star Wars and stuff. But I think it's so cool because they take influence from these things, but they make it their own thing. Like it's not a carbon copy of Freelancer. It's not a carbon copy of Star Wars. It's not Star Trekky. It's not like that, right? It's its own thing, which is really 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 cool. So we got a little trader stuff here. We got more space station stuff here. Look at this with the window. We saw that last time when I did a stream about it. Really really cool. I love that. We get more evil cat picture. That's an evil. Why can't I? That's it's a okay. Picture one. Well, it looks like an evil cat over there. Look at these guys hanging out. Yeah, so we actually, I think the demo 2.25, I think we're actually further out now. So this is just going back in time, but I kind of wanted to show you guys some of the stuff. And like I said, I will be looking at the demo that's available for the testers. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you guys a little update on this. Super, super exciting. Make sure you follow them on all of this stuff. Make sure that you retweet their tweets and stuff like that. Really help them out and stuff. To give them the attention. I know that like Starfield just came out recently, and I know Star Citizen is still very popular and stuff, but this is more what I've been looking for because it just feels more of what I've been wanting to see. I haven't, like I said, I haven't played it in a while, so we will be playing that, but it's just very exciting for them to get to the point where they're now going into early access. Just like looking at these pictures, like it makes me want to explore all those places, and that's always something that Freelancer really Freelancer always had this I want to go explore what's over here, what's over there. But the thing is, it got very repetitive because we got space stations and nebulas and planets, right? But they were missing like other things. Here we're getting other things. Like we're getting like swords in the middle of space, and we get like these constructs. These weird, like, what is that? Is something we can fly? Is it a portal? Does it lead somewhere, or is it just like there? It looks like a giant window, like a cathedral window or something. It's stuff like that. It's just like it makes me wander. It makes me want to explore the world. So it's super fun. But yeah, again, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for everyone that's been following. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I will be doing more Underspace stuff in the future. We do have a merch store. I might be doing maybe I'll do some space themed merch in there as well. I've been thinking about like what other stuff to add. I haven't really updated the merch store, but for the Guild Wars 2 lovers or the lore lovers, there's some stuff in the merch store for you guys. Link is in the description down below. And you guys can become members if you want to. It's $5 a month. I would really appreciate that as well. You can do super chats. You can donate if you want to. Many ways to support the channel if you're looking to support the channel, which, obviously is not required, but would be highly appreciated. And yeah, other than that, make sure that you follow me on Twitter as well. I will be trying to, interact with Underspace as much as I can on there as well. I try to be more active on Twitter, and then I just like, I don't know, social media is just one of the things that I just don't care for too much. Like, so I try to do stuff on it, and then I'm like, I do it for a few days, I'm like, ugh, that again, So, but yeah, anyway, so thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.